So Brute Bonnet fell all the way to NU, which is not too surprising given its poor typing and poor speed tier. If you ran it on Trick Room, I don't think Brute Bonnet would be that particularly strong, even though it has some low speed, just because Dark and Grass aren't particularly complementary. They can be useful in certain situations, for example, against, in this tier specifically, you've got Bruxish, but Cacturne just does that job way better than Brute Bonnet does. And Brute Bonnet is way stronger and has close combat coverage, but I just feel like you usually have a switch-in or two on your team. But we're going to try running them on Sun today with a Mono Dark setup with Growth, and maybe we'll get something done, who knows. Right off the bat, I'm looking at my opponent's team and trying to see if they have a hazard removal, and I don't think they do. Unfortunately, they lead off with Articuno, so I'm going to be forced to go into Sneasel. They may Hurricane right away, but that's something I'm willing to risk. We'll just click Knock Off here, as they may Terrastalize as well. We shall see, but if they don't, then they lose their Articuno. So they actually have Air Slash, so they don't end up killing me, which is fantastic as well. I don't think I'm in range of Rocky Helmet. I think Rocky Helmet is 12.5, so we're good on that front. Here we go to Quillfish. We won't get the poison point because you never get the poison point with Quillfish. Yeah, I see we are poison point, but I literally never get poison point with Quillfish. It's ridiculous. Okay. At this point, I don't need my Sneasel for anything else. So I will just, actually, let's see. Sneasel versus Glacier. I'm not going to Terra. I don't want to see that. You Calm Mind. Okay, Knockoff does do more damage. Off Rip, which seems about right. Okay. So now I can go into my Typhlosion maybe. Let's see. Typhlosion. Only Choice Scarf, but it does 90%. The question is, what Terra is Glaceon? I think if it's Terra Water Glaceon, which it probably is, then that would not be a good play. Pissimian does 76%. And if they Terra Water, then we do 30%. I think Pissimian is the superior option here. And we'll just click Close Combat. This does allow them to go into Muck if they want. Or I suppose into Sandaconda. But we don't want to mess around with this threat. And I definitely don't want to allow it to Terra Water Pulse my Typhlosion. Turns out they are Terra Ghost. That's okay by me, I think. So they are Terra Ghost, and so I guess it would have been nice to have my Sneasel now, wouldn't it have? You can see that we do 45%, which is not going to kill. Quillfish isn't going to do too much, and has Freeze Dry, and that'll just knock me out in one hit. Brute Bonnet, as you can oh, actually, I wonder what their speed tier is. So I don't want to go Brute Bonnet here, because I do have some speed investment. So I guess I do have speed. Cool. So we get a kill for Brute Bonnet. Now Pissimian, of course, will come out, but we do have Quillfish. Quillfish is our designated fighting type check. And once again, we won't get the poison point because you never get the poison point. But you can't run Intimidate on Quillfish because then that gives this a +1, and that's just unacceptable. Okay, we got Brute Bonnet here. We go for Stealth Rock, which makes sense. I'm gonna just crunch again. No reason to Spore this. They are Sand Spit, which is very interesting to note. Because they are Sand Spit, that means that would have blocked my Sunny Day from Jolteon. I guess I did mention a bit at the beginning here that I did mention I was Sun on this team, but I forgot to mention how I was Sun on this team. So I'm going to go Quillfish here, because Pissimian was pretty obvious. And here I'm just going to go for a... I'm going to go for a flip turn here. As we actually do finally get the poison point. It took forever, but we got it. Okay. Now I'm going to Sunny Day. And now I will just sack this. I don't really want it for anything else, I don't think. And if they decided to go into Arboleva, I would have cooked it. At this point, I have to figure out what we want to do. Terra, Fire, Muck. If it's Salt Vest, which is what I'm guessing it is, it's a Salt Vest. Salt Vest. Typhlosion. In the Sun. If I Terra Fire, Flamethrower only does 30%. That's pretty bad. Earthquake does more damage. So I don't want to do that, but at the same time, there's not much else I can do, so I sort of have to go all in on this. Now I can just Earthquake. The Pseudo-sun probably still wins at this point, though. So that's unfortunate. Yeah. Alright, now we're facing off against a very offensive team. Pretty clearly their lead is Frostlass. And I think that maybe leading off with my Pissimian, you turning out into Typhlosion is an okay play. Just to try to get the quick kill on Frostlass. And then if they go into Veluza, from there I can go into my Bonnet. Okay, so now we just click Eruption. And of course they have no switch-ins to that. They do not get the Cursed Body, which is good. So now they go Mismagius, which is not the mon I was expecting to come out. But that's okay. Here I'll go into Sneasel. They go for Memento. Very interesting play. So now they go into Veluza here. I'm going to click Knock Off, just so they can't get a berry, is the main thing. And now I'm going to go for Ice Shard. And they go for Aqua Cutter, okay. So I got to do some quick check as to the speed tier. I need a Physical Sweeper, sure, why not? At +2, do you speed Pissimian? Yeah, you do. Doesn't outspeed Typhlosion though. So we'll just go into Typhlosion. Interruption is still stronger. We'll just click that. Yeah, Veluza I think is a pretty bad Pokemon. I love the design of Veluza, and Sharpness is such a fun ability. But the problem with it really is just that I want to keep this for Earthquake. And I need to keep Quillfish around. Bonnet doesn't seem that great, to be honest. Actually, I'm going to stay in and Interrupt one time just to see if they want to click Toxic. Or that works too. Okay. So now I will sack my Jolteon. And now we go Bonnet. And they can try to outplay this if they want. But they don't think to, I guess. Heracross can come out. I will go Ardent to Quillfish. We were keeping Bonnet around for the, let's see, for the Jolteon a bit. And then, of course, Sucker Punch is always nice. We're actually at speed there, which is good, I guess. Nice to go for Trailblaze again, which is smart. Okay. I think what we do here is I go Pissimian. And I click the Rock Slide. That forces them to close combat. And I go Heracross. Fire Flame Orb. -1. Root Bonnet. Terra Dark, Sucker Punch to 62% min. So that's what we're going to go for. And forcing the sucker punch, forcing the close combat was the reason we went Pessimian there. And like I said, I still have the Scarf Earthquake for this. Here, let's just quickly check damage. Jolteon if it's choice specs. Yeah, this is choice specs, okay. Thunderbolt Terra Dark only does 54%. So I think it's better for me to crunch. Yeah. Because I don't want them to sub-calm mind, do annoying stuff. But since Thunderbolt from choice specs doesn't kill, then we can just crunch safely. Alright, that was a better game than game 1. But yeah, going to Pessimian, you can't Mega Horn me. And since they hadn't gone for Facade, I didn't think they had it. If they had Facade, they should have always been going for that. There was no reason not to. Other than a random Terra Ghost, I suppose. But then, why would you go for close combat if you were worried about that? And so if they have Mega Horn, they can't Mega Horn a fighting type. So you just have to close combat, and that gets you a drop, which puts you in range of Sucker Punch. And now we're facing the guy we played game 1 again. A bit unfortunate, but that's okay. Gonna lead off with Pessimian this time. I don't think they lead off with Articuno again. They lead off with Sandaconda. That's fine. Here I'm gonna just click the knockoff as they go for Stealth Rock. Now I'll go into my Brute Bonnet. And I won't be taking the chip. They double click Stealth Rock. That may have been a misplay on their part. I'm gonna click Spore this time. Since I know that they're Sand Spit, it's pretty safe. Probably the reason they wouldn't go into Pessimian is because they're probably expecting Bullet Seed on a ground type. So that's interesting. As they actually waste their Terra there. So they may not remember who I am, even though we just played a couple minutes ago. I don't think you should have ever done that. So we'll just crunch again. Air slash kills, that's okay. We go Sneasel here. And we'll just click knockoff. This is how we killed them last time. They won't have the chance to boost up this time either. And since we're boots, we can always switch out, switch back in. Okay. This Sword Stance up. I'm curious as to what Glaceon thinks it's going to do to me. And here I will go for the knockoff again. I get a crit. I don't know if that mattered. So now, you know what? I want to check something. We go into Sneasel. We go Pessimian. Obviously, I need Choice Scarf. If I Terra Fighting, close combat still blows me away. So we're gonna go Quillfish here. Just wanted to check, see what's up. And since if you wait like that, then it's a lot more likely for them to want to stay in. As once again, we do not end up getting the kill. Oh, what the heck? Okay, that's Earthquake. I'm just going to stay in an Earthquake. They could always go into their Arboliva, but I am a Fire type, and you'll just end up giving me recovery. So this time the Typhlosion gets the 1v1 versus Muck. I made a mistake here. This is Focus Punch. I wanted Focus Blast. And I hate it when that happens. I don't even know why Focus Punch is up there. Okay, so they go Articuno. That's okay. I'm going to go hard Sneasel again as they predict that and go for Air Slash. I could have sacked, but I think that even having just this sack here isn't too bad because then I get to scout and see what they do. Like right here, you just sack Typhlosion, and now we know, are you going to U-turn? Are you going to do what? Yeah, you're just U-turning here. Okay. So now what I get to do is I get to go into Quillfish, potentially get the Barbarage chip, or get the poison point on them. And we do actually get the poison point. Okay, so 1 in 3. It is what it is. You just would prefer for it to happen earlier in the game. And now they have to decide Arboliva or Articuno. as I go into Jolteon, I'm going to set up the Sunny Day. I could just Shadow Ball. So I don't want a Sunny Day though. And now I will gonna Shadow Ball. I think that's the smarter play. Okay, now we go for the knockoff. And now this is gonna come down to a speed tie, I believe. Now just Ice Shard here. Always Ice Shard. And because they sacked their they wasted their Terra turn 1, then we should be okay. And so now I don't know if Terra really matters here. Okay, so Passimian got the kill at the end of the game. So we get our revenge on that guy. That's good. Now we're facing off against Rain. So that's not looking like a very good matchup, unfortunately. Looking at their team though, they don't really deal well with spikes. So I'm gonna go for Barb Barrage here first because, well actually, let's spike first. Because if they taunt, they'll be slower than me. Now we Barb Barrage to start trying to get some poison on them. So they go for that, that's okay. Quillfish being healthy maybe is important, but I would like to get as much damage on their team as I can. But here what I'm going to do is I'm going to flip turn into Jolteon. Actually Memento that turn. So that's okay on my part. Now I'm in with a fast water type. They will not outspeed me with anything. And then go Mesprit. I'm going to Shadow Ball here, and then we'll Sunny Day. And they probably won't see that coming. Right, they'll probably go for U-turn here. And now, because the sun is out, their Floatzel's attacks will be weakened, except for Ice Spinner, which won't be weakened. So that was great for me to time that. Right, I knew that they'd go for Sunny Day, so now we get to Volt Switch out. And here what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into Quillfish. And I'm going to go for the taunt. They may taunt themselves, but this will at least prevent them from going for recovery, so I can chip down their Sableye between spikes and damage if they let me get it off this turn. This turn is sort of tricky because what am I going to go into? You don't know. I'm going to go Bonnet here, I think always. And now we just have to check damage, Golduck. PU Rain Sweeper seems fine. Sucker Punch does 60%. If I Terra Dark, then it does 80%. I think Sucker Punch seems reasonable to me. And that just kills their Golduck. So that's great. Of course, the Grass type is nice to have against a Rain team, but they only have 3 Rain Sweepers. And I don't think this is going to be too much of a problem. Here we sack Typhlosion, I think. Because, like, what is Typhlosion doing against this? It's actually Swords Dance, so that's a good play on their part. Hopefully they get greedy and try to Swords Dance again. That'd be nice. And now I will go Quillfish and just flip turn. I don't know if I live this. Probably not. To be honest, this Quillfish is sort of a problem now that it's Swords Danced up. Woo! Okay. It's almost certainly Eviolite. Last turn of Rain. Go Sneasel. Click Ice Shard to put them in range of something. Hopefully. Now Jolteon comes out and I Volt Switch here. But I don't actually think the Volt Switch will even kill, to be honest. Oh, well there you go. Okay. So now we get to Sucker Punch. They could switch, but this is why we have a Spike Up. And Sucker Punch kills. We are Black Glasses. I don't know if that particularly matters. We're just going all in on the dark attacks. Now we crunch. They could Dazzle and Gleam right off the bat. I think that is the best play for them to do. Because having this Rain Dance up, I guess is good for Float Soul. I'm not sure though. Because Aqua Jet is probably what you'd go for here. Banded Aqua Jet if you have it. Does that kill... Jolteon though? I don't know. And now I can just safely crunch here. There's nothing that Sableye can do. The Prankster nerf killed Sableye's viability entirely. Okay, let's look at this. Float Soul, OU Choice Band, or any Rain Wall Breakers. Let's put a Choice Band on it. Just because. Actually, we can tell. Yeah, and so they die. Yeah, they took Spikes, so they're not heavy duty boots. They're probably Choice Band. Let me finish this thought about Sableye really fast. Sableye, before, was able to Prankster everybody. So even if a Dark type came out, Sableye couldn't hit it with its Ghost type moves or its Dark type moves. So it was walled offensively, but defensively it could still Will-O-Wisp them, it could still taunt them. Now the Dark types are immune to Prankster. As soon as I have a Dark type on my team, Prankster Sableye cannot do anything. Like if you want to have a chance as Sableye against Dark type, you have to be Keen-Eye. Okay, if you want to actually be able to do anything. But then if you're Keen-Eye, then you're just a really bad Pokemon. So you really have to have the Prankster, which makes Dark types invalidate Sableye as a Pokemon, which is why it used to be a decent niche Pokemon, and now I think is trash entirely. Like I would almost rather see a Volbeat in that slot over Sableye. Let's go back to this damage calc real fast. So Aqua Jet in the rain, Terra Water in the rain. Aqua Jet did 51 to 61%. I was clearly in range of that. Now let's go over to Jolteon. Jolteon, and it does 69 to 81%. So after Rocks, it would have killed me. So they always should have Aqua Jetted. So I should not have won that game. My opponent choked, or didn't have Aqua Jet, I suppose, is the other option. But I'll take that. Anyway, that'll be today's video. I don't think the Brute Bonnet is very broken in this tier, or maybe I'm just choosing it wrong. Maybe if you have Choice Scarf Brute Bonnet, it goes in hard. But even though it is decently powerful and Terra Dark Sucker Punch is quite strong, and like I said before, it has close combat, people have been running loaded dice with Bullet Seed, but I don't think that having loaded dice Bullet Seed is worth the extra oomph you can get on your Sucker Punch. I think that Sucker Punch is where Brute Bonnet's going to live and die. Spore is a meh move. I think you'd rather be being offensive with Brute Bonnet. Growth was a cute little idea I had on this team, but because it isn't a dedicated Sun team, it was hard to ever find opportunities where the Sun was even up. And usually with Brute Bonnet, he's either trying to kill the thing in front of him or not die from the thing in front of him, which means that you almost never have an opportunity to click growth, in my experience. But he wasn't bad. I think that Brute Bonnet, especially with this Terra Dark set, did a lot better than I was expecting to. Although my expectations were pretty low for him. But yeah, that'll be it for this video, and I'll catch you guys next time.